Hello, there we are again. I hope everybody's fine. I hope everybody's doing well. As for me, I'm good. I'm very, very good. I'm back here today, like to finish the series of video that I started on breastfeeding. Like I said before, it's something that's very important for me, and I really wanted to do this, and I'm very happy that I did it. And I'm also happy that the very first video I did on breastfeeding has been like viewed quite a few times, and I'm very happy of it. I just hope that I will like help, even if it's one person, to view breastfeeding differently. So yeah, the last part of this series will be on the benefit of breastfeeding on the mother. Like I said, even for myself, like the whole time that I made the decision to breastfeed, I breastfed 3 of my kids. I'm still breastfeeding my son, who is 2 years old. I did not really look into the benefit of breastfeeding on the mother. It's something that I really overlook. I never really really thought into looking into it. I was mostly interested in what the benefit on the baby. And even for that, I didn't really do research. I didn't really look into it. It was mostly about people around me that are so breastfeeding, and see how that impacts the kids and all those things positively. And so, like I said before, I always knew I was going to breastfeeding unless I really have a serious issue that would prevent me of doing so. But I always knew I was going to breastfeeding only by seeing others and how well, like health wise and everything else, the relationship between the mother and the child, how strong it was for most people that are so breastfeeding. So that's the reason why I made my decision. And then over the years, I started I started to look into it like closely, to research a bit, to understand. But until then, it was mostly on the children, on the baby. It was not on the mothers. And recently, when I really look into it, I was so impressed. I was so overwhelmed. Like I couldn't believe it. Like there were so many benefits, and it only makes sense. It really makes sense. But so that's why I want to share that today with everybody else. I know that there's quite a lot of information on breastfeeding out there. But for many people, some people are don't just want to go and research. Some people cannot do it. Maybe they don't have access to it. Hopefully, you will see my video. Hopefully, you will stop to listen and to maybe to learn something, and then maybe to change somebody's life, even change your own life or your baby life or somebody's child life. So yes, the benefit of breastfeeding on the mother. So like I try to highlight 12 important points only. I'm sure that there's more than that, but I mostly stop on 12, the one that I thought were most important, 12 of them. So like the very first one is that it reduces the risk of developing osteoporosis, so which is a condition of that weaken bones and cause the bone to break very easily. Some women get it sometimes even before the menopause, and some of the women develop it after menopause. One thing is good with breastfeeding is that the benefits are not just in the present. The benefit of breastfeeding for the mother or for the child is not just for the day-to-day or for the week or for the month. It's lifetime benefit. For the mother, is a lifetime benefit. I mean, even after menopause, long after menopause, you're still gonna be, as long as you're living, you're still gonna be having the benefit of the breastfeeding that you did. And another thing that I wanted to say, that most of those benefits arises the longer that you breastfeed. So obviously most pediatrician will tell you to breastfeed at least to 6 months. So yes, you're still gonna get some benefit if you breastfeed only 6 months, but the longer you breastfeed, the better. It really, like everything I showed you, the longer you breastfeed is the better. If you have more than one child and that you breastfeed both of them, I mean, you have to like add the number of months that you breastfeed each one of them, and you will see actually you will see how much, I don't even know how to say that. I don't know how to, you understand, like when I get to the point that I highlight. So the longer you breastfeed, the better. It doesn't mean that just a single child. It can be 1, 2, 3 children that you breastfeed. You just have to add how long you breastfeed all of them. So if everything is over 30 something months, I mean, you are protecting yourself from a lot of things. So yes, so like I say, yeah, reduce the risk of osteoporosis. Also, number 2, it reduce the risk of breast cancer. That one is very, very, very good, very, very important, especially when we know how recurrent case of breast cancer. I mean, is like every single day, everybody knows somebody who had breast cancer, who died of breast cancer, who's still dealing with breast cancer, and all those. We all know at least one person, you know. So yes, it reduces the risk of breast cancer. Why? Because when you're breastfeeding, you shed. The longer you breastfeed, the more you shed breast tissue. So the breast tissue, you shed the breast tissue, will actually are like go away, wash, clear away, which can remove cells with potential DNA damage. We know that most cancer are due to the damage or the error on the DNA. So like the more you breastfeed, the more you shed the breast tissue. Some of them could potentially be carrier of the DNA damage. Number 3, reduce the risk of ovarian cancer. So I researched that a bit more, and I realized that there were many studies about it. And the specific one that catches my eyes was a study published by the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which studied 493 women who had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. The study found that women who breastfed for more than 13 months were 60% less likely to develop an ovarian tumor than those who breastfed for less than 7 months. In conclusion, the longer women breastfeed, the greater the reduced risk. So also those who breastfed for a total of 31 months, like I told you earlier, let's say this is it doesn't have to be one child. It can be 2 children or 3 children. So that if you totalize everything, it comes to 31 months over the years, like I say, were more than 91% less likely to suffer from ovarian cancer. This is because breastfeeding can delay ovulation. The more ovulation occur, the greater the risk of cell mutation, which can develop a cancer. So yeah, you know, ovulation, many women, especially women who are looking to have a baby, wait for ovulation for like, but ovulation, you know, ovulation, like most of the hormone that women who had on our body, yeah, like, you know, like, yes, I mean, who say ovulation said there's a multiplication of cells and all those things. I'm not a scientist. I mean, I'm a scientist in psychology, if I can say that like that, but I'm not like a medical doctor. But I mean, those information are out there, you know, and it makes sense. So the number 4 is reduce the risk of excessive bleeding, as the production of oxytocin help contract the uterus back to its pre-pregnancy size faster. Yes, that one is I can really how to say that. I mean, my two first children, yes, I mean, I realized every time I was breastfeeding, especially I just really like, as when they were newborn, every time that I breastfeeding, I will have those strong cramp in my lower belly. I never really like look into it that much. I was just putting that in the fact that just, I just had a baby and all those things. So just the cramping. Maybe because I'm sitting down breastfeeding the baby, I'm paying more attention to it. That's why I feel like that's stronger. Maybe that's how it is. I knew they had something to do with the uterus contracting, but I didn't know that it was actually contracting more at that moment. So like when you're breastfeeding, every time I was breastfeeding for the first 1 month or 6 weeks, even a bit more than that, I will really feel it. Like you will really feel like the pain, like almost like, like you're in sometimes during contraction when you're having the baby. And it was quite yes, it was sometimes it was quite painful. And I remember speaking with the midwife, the health visitor, who explained to me now with my son clearly what exactly was happening. That because I'm breastfeeding, so my uterus will contracting faster and will get his normal size, the size before the pregnancy, faster than somebody who is not breastfeeding, which reduce the risk of bleeding, excessive bleeding, where you can a lot of women, there's a lot of women who 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 get that, and it can be dangerous, to you. Some people lose their life because of that, because sometimes like the uterus that is bleeding, when it's excessive, you cannot, sometimes they can't stop it. It's difficult to stop, so you just bleed out, or your blood, and in some case, some lady, they just die few days or few hours just after delivery. Number 5, help burn calories, and by using mom store fat to produce milk, which can help to lose weight. Yes, like I mean, for those who watch my previous video on breastfeeding, I have already talked about that. I know that it work for some people. For me, losing weight, no, it has no. Breastfeeding, that's one thing that breastfeeding has not helped me do, is lose weight. Like on the contrary, I actually gain weight. For my son, I was able like to find a way. By the time he was a year old, like to find a workout that worked for me. It actually allowed me to maintain a way that I'm comfortable with right now, as I'm still breastfeeding. But as soon as I stop breastfeeding, then I will really get to where I want to be. But right now, I'm very happy with the way I am. I mean, that's just how it is. Everything cannot be 100%. So number 6, lowering the chance of developing postpartum depression, since breastfeeding enable pregnancy hormone to decrease slowly instead of abruptly. Yes, because a lot of women will just have a baby. You know what? Sorry again, once again. I don't see time when I'm making the video. It's crazy. We already passed 12 minutes. I need to do part 2. And I just hope that it's only going to be just one part 2. Because I was hoping I would be able to use just one video, but I think I can't do it. And like I said, for those type of subject, I can't just cut it and like do short. I mean, I feel like I'm not going to be able to give all the information that is really important for some people. It will enable them one day to make a decision or what they want to do. So we're going to go. Please find me for part 2. Thank you.